ومن النساء اللواتي قص الله جل وعلا قصتهن في كتابه موسى عليه السلام وأخته، فإن موسى صارت مضرب المثل في التصديق بوعد الله والتوكل عليه والثقة به تبارك وتعالى.
The Sheikh, he said, from the women whose stories are mentioned in the Quran are the mother of Musa and the sister of Musa. And the mother of Musa is given as an example, or put forward as an example, for believing in the promise of Allah, for knowing that the promise of Allah Azza wa Jal is true, and for relying upon Allah with true reliance.
فإن الله تبارك وتعالى فإن فرعون بعدما رأى الرؤيا بأنه سيزيل ملكه رجل من بني إسرائيل اختار أن يقتل كل مولود ذكر، وكان يقتل سنة ويبقي سنة. ففي السنة التي كان يقتل فيها الأولاد الذكور الذين يولدون ولد فيها موسى. ومع ذلك فإن هذه الأم أوحى الله عز وجل إليها، وهذا الإيحاء هو إلهام من الله تبارك وتعالى، لا بنبي لا بملك ينزل. أوحى الله إليها أن إذا خافت على موسى أن تلقيه في البحر، وأن الله عز وجل سيرده إليها. ومع عظم العاطفة صدقت بهذا الوعد وتوكلت على الله تبارك وتعالى، وألقت طفلها في البحر مع الإيمان والثقة بأنه سيعود إلى حضنها. قال تبارك وتعالى: وأوحينا إلى موسى أن أرضعيه فإذا خفت عليه فألقيه في اليم. إذا خفت عليه أمر الله بضد ذلك. إذا خفت عليه بدل ما لم يقل الله احفظيه صونيه اخفيه، وإنما قال فألقيه في اليم. وإذا خفت عليه فألقيه في اليم ولا تخافي ولا تحزني إنا رادوه إليك وجاعلوه من المرسلين. فاستجابت لأمر ربها ثقة وتوكلا عليه تبارك وتعالى.
The Sheikh, he said that Fir'aun, after he saw a dream in which he understood that his kingdom would be taken away by a man from the children of Israel, he implemented this process whereby he would kill all of the male children that were born from the children of Israel 1 year, and that he would leave them for the next year. And that Musa was born in the year in which Fir'aun had declared that was the year that he was going to kill all of the children. It was not that Musa was born in the year when the children were to be spared. He was born in the year when Fir'aun had decided to kill those children, the year when he was killing all of the male children of Bani Israel. And despite that, Allah Azza wa Jal revealed or inspired, and the Shaykh said this is ilham, it's an inspiration. It's not that he sent down a revelation like the revelation to a prophet, but that he inspired to her that if she was fearful of her or over her child, and she was fearful of what was going to happen to him, that she was to throw him into the river, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that he would bring her child back to her. And the Shaykh, he said, despite the extreme emotion, look at the emotion in this. Look at the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding her to do the exact opposite of what you would expect or what you would naturally do. When she fears for her child, she throws him away. Not when she fears for her child, said that you would expect when she fears for her child that she brings her child close. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands her when she fears for her child to throw her child into the river. And Allah promises in the ayah that the Shaykh read that he will return that child to her, that she was to feed him, she was to suckle him, and if she feared for him, that she was to throw him into the river, and that Allah promised that he would return that child to her, and that he would make him from the messengers.
ويستفاد من قصتها تقديم أمر الله تبارك وتعالى وما أوجبه الله عز وجل على عاطفة الإنسان. فإن هذه الأمومة التي جعلها الله عز وجل في قلبها وخوفها على ابنها لم يمنعها من أن تستجيب لأمر الله. ولذلك قال: فإذا خفت عليه فألقيه في اليم. فهي قدمت أمر الله على عاطفتها وأمومتها، وهذا يدل على أهمية أن يقدم الإنسان أمر ربه تبارك وتعالى على هوى نفسه. وذاك وصف الله جل وعلا الأولاد والأموال بأنها فتنة، قال إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة. من أي جهة؟ من جهة أن الإنسان قد يترك بعض أوامر الله خوفا على أولاده أو شفقة عليهم أو حرصا عليهم فيترك بعض أوامر الله، وذاك جعل الله الولد فتنة. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام الولد مبخلة مجبنة، الولد قد يجبن والده أن يترك الجهاد خوفا على ابنه ويترك الإنفاق في سبيل الله خوفا على ابنه، لكن موسى عليه السلام قدمت أمر الله على عاطفتها فكانت عاقبتها حميدة.
The Sheikh, he said, from the benefits that we learn from this story is putting the command of Allah ahead of our emotions and ahead of what our souls and ourselves and our emotions are telling us to do. So we see here the response of the mother of Musa to the command of Allah, even though it was against her emotional nature, it was against what herself was telling her to do. She put the command of Allah ahead of her emotions. And in this, the Shaykh said the importance of this, the importance of one of you putting the commands of Allah and what Allah has made obligatory for you ahead and above all of the other things, your emotions and your desires and what your soul wants you to do. And he said, for this reason, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or mentioned regarding the statement that your wealth and your children are a trial. And he said, from what point of view are your wealth and your children a trial? As is mentioned in the ayah, from what point of view are your wealth and your children a trial? He said, one of you might leave some of the things that Allah has made obligatory for you because of these things. Maybe you fear for your children, and so you leave something that Allah has made obligatory for you because of your fear over your children. And he said, for this reason, the Prophet ﷺ described the child as being a source of stinginess and a source of cowardice. A source of stinginess and a source of cowardice. And that's because your child might make you leave striving and fighting in the way of Allah because you are fearful over your children. And so you end up being a coward because of your children. And so the Shaykh said that the eventual outcome and the praiseworthy state that the mother of Musa ended up in was because she put the command of Allah ahead of what her emotions would be telling her to do.
ويستفاد من قصتها أن نعلم بأن عاقبة الاستجابة لأمر الله عز وجل حميدة، فإن الشيطان يخوف الإنسان من الاستجابة لأمر الله، إن فعلت كذا ضاقت عليك الدنيا، قد تفصل من وظيفتك، قد يفعل بك كذا، فيخوف الشيطان الإنسان من أن يلتزم أمر الله. لكن هذه القصة يستفاد بأن عاقبة الاستجابة لأمر الله عز وجل حميدة، فإنها لما استجابت لأمر الله على الرغم من أنه ضد عاطفتها وهوى نفسها، ماذا كانت العاقبة؟ قال جل وعلا إنا رادوه إليك، هذه البشارة الأولى، وجاعلوه من المرسلين، أي سنرده إلى حكمه، هذه بشارة، وسنجعله نبيا رسولا، فكانت عاقبتها حميدة.
The Shaykh said from the benefits that we take from this story is that the eventual outcome or the ultimate conclusion of obeying the command of Allah will always be a praiseworthy state. It will always be the best thing for you in the long run. And that's because the shaitan makes you fear. The shaitan makes you fear that if you obey Allah, this is going to happen to you. And if you follow the commands of Allah, you're going to suffer this kind of hardship in the dunya, or this is going to happen to you, or that bad thing is going to happen to you. He said the shaitan makes you fear sticking to the command of Allah. The shaitan makes you fear obeying the command of Allah. But if you look at the story of the mother of Musa, that Allah Azza wa Jal gave her two great glad tidings as a result of her, or as at the conclusion, at the end of her obeying the command of Allah. First, that Allah promised that He would return her child to her. And second, that Allah promised that He would make him from those messengers that were sent, and Allah promised that He would make him a prophet and He would make him a messenger, and that is the praiseworthy outcome that happens eventually at the conclusion or at the end of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His commands.
ويستفاد من قصتها أيضا أن من استجاب لأمر الله وخالف هوى نفسه في طاعة الله أن الله عز وجل يثبته ويعينه ويقوي قلبه. وذلك قال تبارك وتعالى بعدما ألقت موسى ابنها في البحر، قال جل: وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى فارغا، أي فارغا من كل شيء إلا من ذكر موسى. قال: وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى فارغا إن كادت لتبدي به، أي كادت تتكلم. قال: لولا أن ربطنا على قلبها لتكون من المؤمنين. فربط الله على قلبها وثبتها. وهكذا كل من وقف واستجاب لأمر الله وخالف هوى نفسه فإن الله يثبته ويقوي قلبه وبدنه.
The Shaykh said from the benefits that we take from this story is that the one who goes against what their soul is telling them to do in obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and goes against their emotions in obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah will keep them firm and make them strong. And for this reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described what happened to the mother of Musa when she had thrown Musa into the river. And Allah Azza wa Jal says that her heart became empty, i.e. the Shaykh said empty of everything other than the remembrance of Musa. She could do nothing else but think about her child that she had thrown into the river. Her heart became empty of everything else. And she was about to speak. She was about to tell what she had done and about to expose what she had done to her child. Except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time made her heart firm. And Allah made her in this way and made her from the believers in this way by making her heart firm. So the Shaykh, he said that this is an evidence that the one who goes against their emotions and against what their soul is telling them to do in order to follow the command of Allah, Allah will make them firm and Allah will make them strong at that time.